The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have expressed readiness to receive their leader on December 15, 2023, believing that the Supreme Court will deliver a favorable judgment. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are the top 10 stories. At number 1, the International Air Transport Association has warned the Central Bank of Nigeria that some foreign airlines may be forced to quit the Nigerian markets if nothing is done about the $790 million tickets revenue currently trapped in the country. The IATA Regional Vice President, Africa and Middle East, Camille Alawadi, at a media presentation with African journalists at the IATA Global Media Day in Geneva, Switzerland, on Thursday, also said Lagos and Abuja airports had been ranked the most expensive gateways in the region despite the poor state of their infrastructure. According to him, the Nigerian government is currently holding the highest amount of airline-trapped funds. At number 2, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have expressed readiness to receive their leader on December 15, 2023, believing that the Supreme Court will deliver a favorable judgment. The group strongly maintained that Kanu did not commit any crime both locally and internationally and should not have suffered the injustice meted out to him by the federal government and the judiciary. They also urged for calm from the people, lovers and friends of Biafra, even as they called for his release unconditionally. IPOB Media and Publicity Secretary Ima Powerful cautioned the Supreme Court Justice to toe the line of justice and release Kanu unconditionally. The National Judicial Council (NJC) has rejected Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke's nominee for replacement of the state's chief judge. The NJC rather insisted that Adeleke Ojo, who was reportedly suspended from office by the governor, remained the chief judge of the state, a decision the council took as part of its resolution during its two-day meeting, which ended on Thursday. The Director of Information of the NJC, Sojioye, announced the resolutions of the council in a statement on Thursday. Mr. Adeleke has sought the NJC's permission to swear in the next most senior judge in the state as the acting chief judge of the state after purportedly suspending Mrs. Ojo from office in November. At number 4, Tantita Security Services Limited challenges the Nigerian Navy's accusation of involvement in illegalities over the seized crude oil vessel in Ondo State. The security company claims the Navy hinders its operatives and the other security agencies from conducting further investigations on the vessel. The Nigerian Navy justifies the arrest based on intelligence regarding crude oil theft in the area. Tantita operatives executing a pipeline protection contract with NNPC and the federal government insist on joint inspection of the vessel. At number 5, the Dangote oil refining company says its plant has received its maiden 1 million barrels of Agbani crude grade from the Shell International Trading and Shipping Company Limited, Statsco. In a statement on Friday, the company said the Statsco vessel sailed to the refinery's single point mooring, where it was discharged into the refinery's crude oil tanks. The development followed news that the crude feedstock was on its way to the refinery on Thursday. Aliko Dangote, chairman of Dangote Group, had said the plant would start production with 350,000 barrels per day of crude. At number 6, the Nigerian police Friday confirmed it had apprehended the special constabularies who were caught in a viral video demanding money from a Dutch woman rider in the Ojongbodu area along Ishenyi-Ogbomosho Road in Oyo. Adejobi also disclosed that the Commissioner of Police Oyo State Command, CP Adebola Ayinde Hamzat, has instituted a disciplinary procedure on the matter immediately. The police authority has condemned the act and ordered that the men and their supervising divisional police officer be sanctioned accordingly. He described the act as unpolice-like and would never be tolerated in any manner. At number 7, the government of Canada has announced that the cost of living financial requirements for study permit applicants will be raised significantly starting January 1st, 2024. The government says the increase is necessary to ensure that international students are financially prepared for life in Canada, which has become significantly more expensive since the previous requirement was set. This change, announced by Immigration Minister Mark Miller on Thursday, reflects the rising cost of living in Canada, which has outpaced the previous financial requirements set in the early 2000s. At number 8, salvos of rockets were launched Friday at the US Embassy in Baghdad's heavy fortified green zone, the mission said. The latest in a fury of such attacks amid the Israel-Hamas war. A multi-rocket attack was launched at US and coalition forces in the vicinity of Union 3 and the Baghdad Embassy complex without causing any reported casualties or damage. A US official said there was no immediate claim of responsibility. The United States lead an international coalition battling jihadists in Iraq and neighboring Syria, and its forces have come under repeated attacks in recent weeks. The attacks come against the backdrop of the more than 2-month war between US ally Israel and the Iran-backed Palestinian Islamist militant group Hamas in the Gaza Strip. In a statement, the US Embassy said 2 salvos of rockets were fired at the mission compound at around 4:15 a.m. Indications are the attacks were initiated by Iran-aligned militias, says a US spokesperson. At number 9, Burkina Faso Council of Ministers has approved an amendment to the constitution that grants official status to local languages while designating French as a working language. The move is part of a broader effort to update the country's constitution under the military authorities who assumed control after a coup in September 2022. The reforms aim to strengthen Burkina Faso's sovereignty and cultural identity while distancing itself from its colonial legacy. Similar language-related changes have been observed in Mali, Morocco and Algeria, reflecting a trend in some African nations reevaluating the role of former colonial languages. At number 10, the flag bearer of the Labour Party LP during the 2023 presidential election, Peter Obi, has congratulated Victor Osimhen for winning the AIC Serie A Footballer of the Year award. Obi congratulated Osimhen in a statement on X, where he also said that the Napoli and Super Eagles striker's success will help to rekindle the fire of hope for the Nigerian youth to succeed. Osimhen, who starts for SSC Napoli, got the award after leading his club to the Italian League Championship after scoring a record 26 goals to become the league's highest goal scorer, the first African footballer to achieve the feat in that country. He was also the first Nigerian to be named in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or and also made the final shortlist for the 2023 CAF Footballer of the Year. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.